Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are really happy to have you here on TFT. Of course, this is Tinfoil Talk. Today, we're talking about Reptoids. This should be a fun one. Of course, there's a lot of goofy joking going around this conspiracy theory, and that's all well as far as I'm concerned. And Jimmy Ortiz is in here, says, "What madness is this?" Well, sir, you've just dropped into the Twilight Zone. Be happy. Much better than that remake that they just came out with. Oh my God, who was in charge of that debacle, Todd?
I'm not sure.
It was
Uh,
bad
w-
though.
yeah, I have not. I'm not sure that was bad.
I think it was one of those Peel, Keenan or Peel peoples.
Keenan, yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about, but I thought he was just a showrunner or something, but I don't know.
I don't know. It was awful. But hey, we're getting amazing stories back, and we're getting all kind of things back, and it's going to be great because everybody and their brother is putting up their own streaming service. Yay! Yay! And they're locking it all behind paywalls. That's what the world should.
Have the cable system, and now all this is just shifting, and it's basically the cable system all over again.
Yeah, but the cable system was much cheaper. But we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
that's exactly right. Exactly.
Appreciate it. Of course, also share this out to your family and friends and extended community
Okay.
so they know what's going on. So they come over here and join us with these live streamers that got going on. And yeah, Jimmy says, oh, Chester is going behind a paywall. No, I don't think I'd make a living, to be honest with you. But if I could, I would. That's for sure. I'm a capitalist at heart, don't you know? But before we jump into this odd conversation we're going to have today, I'm sure. Just wanted to check on the Denali Llama there because he does have a literally category 5 hurricane bearing down on his ass. How you doing over there, dude?
I'm doing okay. It's a lot of rains here. We're still watching where the store is heading right now. Is lingering on the Bahamas,
Hmm.
and the weather persons, don't know what to make of it. It's going north. It's going east. It's going south. They just don't know. Tune into what? Find out.
Well, you'll find out when it gets there.
Right.
And Eric Hawkins says, great show this morning. Well, thank you very much, dude. That actually, the show over on IndieCom TV where we are doing Coffee Akihabara, and today's guest, or yesterday for me's guest, was Billy Tucci. That was a really good show. We had a lot of fun. I think Todd and I and Billy were all from the same area. We're all basically the same age. I just think it went really well. It was very personable. He gave out tons of information about what he's doing, what's coming forward. It was a really good, fun show, and we got some good insight into it as well. Because for me personally, you guys know I'm a giddy little schoolgirl fan, right? Sometimes into Denali, get this is sideways humor. Sorry, I do apologize.
Hmm.
You're right, because the creators kind of became rock stars,
Yeah, they did.
and
Yeah.
and they were sort of lauded and pampered and shuttled around from convention to convention. A lot of times, that's why a lot of books were late because these guys, took advantage of took advantage of being this sort of celebrity
Yeah.
that they got out of this.
And a lot of that had to do with the image revolution, I think, with Jim Lee and McFarlane and Liefeld and all those people coming out and kind of taking on their own thing and becoming so popular. And it opened a window for guys like Billy, I think. And to keep in mind, if it wasn't for Billy and his she character, he did a bunch of other stuff too. But if it wasn't for that she character, we wouldn't have got Witchblade. We wouldn't have had Kabuki. A lot of things, a lot of doors open up for a lot of people because of the success of that product. But that was a lot of fun. And Jimmy wants to say, comic senior citizens. Jimmy, you're the same age as we are. You ain't fooling nobody. But
That's funny about mentioning Billy and She. Back in the mid '90s, when I was doing a lot of graphic design work, um, as I was transitioning to print, one client said to me, George, your job's done. We can pay you cash, or we can buy you something, maybe a computer or whatever. Just but I said, okay, well, let's go over to the comic book store, and I'll pick a statue. I've been meaning to buy a statue, and I'll pick a statue. They said, okay, great. So the lady, the account rep, went over to one of the big stores here in Toronto. I walked in. I looked around for a half an hour, and I said, okay, it's either the She character or the Swamp Thing.
Oh.
I chose. It was a tough one because the Swamp Thing was so detailed. But the problem with the Swamp Thing was it was only from the stomach up.
Oh, it's a bust.
It was a bust, and the She character was full body. So I said, okay, I'm going to take the She character, and she says, okay. I said, do you realize it's like over $200? She goes, that's fine. And she bought it. I'm thinking, man, I could have milked this further, and I didn't. But since then, this is where the story ends and kills me at the same time. I was moving boxes around at a friend's office, and a shelf broke and fell down on a bunch of boxes. I looked inside those boxes. It was my She statue.
Oh. Right in the center.
It was my She statue that broke the fall and saved the Spawn action figures.
Right?
God.
You don't have to work tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Oh
but no, I think that was a good conversation. Really enjoyed having that, and I'm looking forward to talking to more creators and such over on the IndieCom TV. It's a fun show. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. But enough on that. We need to get into our topic of the day, and our topic of the day is Reptoids and how they are taking over the world, the invasion from space, even. So let's go over and let me do my. Let me put my primer out there so we have an understanding what the conversation should be. All right, so I'm going to do that. Maybe first I should actually just share with you guys so you can see what I'm doing. That's usually best.
Hey, I don't really bring a lot to this, but I had a question for you before we get started, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how in the United States we went off the gold standard?
Yeah,
as far
about
as
100 some
money
years
went?
ago, yeah.
Right. Now, could we have went off that standard because we ended up with, like, just, there's more money than there should be, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's coming from somewhere we don't know where it's coming from.
Well, we do know, for instance, there is more gold in the world than they tell us. Because officially, the amount of gold in the world is equal to about 2 Olympic-sized pools. That sounds like a lot, but that's not really a lot, right? But we know this is completely untrue. We've seen images of one of reported 7 Rothschild gold holding rooms that are in itself the size of an Olympic swimming pool. Yeah, I think the amount of wealth and stuff in the world is certainly something that is kept from us, but that doesn't surprise me. I mean, when it comes to economics and things like that, it is a very engineered world we live in, and I don't think that's a conspiracy theory, though, nor does it have to be. Yeah.
But the Rothschilds are connected to this Reptoids thing, and I'm wondering if there's something to be said about, I mean, obviously you should have a certain amount of wealth in the entire world. And that should be measurable.
Mm-hmm.
But when digital wealth is even more than that, then where did it come from? I'm getting at are we manufacturing wealth?
Oh, of course we are. Oh, of course we are. Yeah. Now this is a completely separate conversation, but no, we absolutely are. This fiat currency system that we currently live under, and pretty much every country on the planet does, it's completely fake. There is no value to your money whatsoever. And to be fair, though, I mean, to get away from the conspiracy theory for a moment, if we all agree that that's okay, then it doesn't matter. It's just like a tindered barter system at that point. And so I don't really have much problem for it. Go ahead, George.
Here's the interesting thing. Was it Nixon that took the dollar off the gold standard because it was all the other countries were actually cashing out, basically?
It was
the other thing.
It was a piecemeal thing. But I would say Nixon was the last straw. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing is, the thing about money.
Mhm.
If I give you a blank piece of paper with a scribble on it, and we both agree this scribbled paper has value, and I exchange that piece of paper for, say, 2 pigs from you, that's currency. Right
Yeah, no, of
now,
course, it's true.
right now we have a mass, what do you call it? Delusion.
Mhm.
That's certain pieces of paper actually hold value over physical products.
Yeah, no, and I get where you're getting at. I think there's a lot of people in the world who don't understand that. I get it, but those of us who actually pay attention, this is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time. But I don't really necessarily have problems with the fiat currency system. The only time I have a problem with it is when the government tries to use it to terrify you into some kind of motion of, oh my God, there's a recession. No, there isn't. They're just going to print more money because that's all they do is just keep printing off money. You have to understand the actual debt that most countries are carrying right now are higher than their GDP, and higher than their tax percentage rates could ever even dent. I mean, America's debt is so high, you can't if you took all the taxes to just pay off the debt, you wouldn't even pay off the interest, right? And how ironic is it that you have a fiat currency system, but yet the Fed, as well as other places, but the Fed holds interest upon money that is sold to the American government. Isn't that just a slap in the ass, right? But that's what they do. It's all a big old game. It's a big old joke. But I think for the normal people's point of view, as long as we all agree, I don't think it's a big deal. But anyway, let me get into my primer here, and so we can get this conversation going on. Dave is here, man. Hey, Dave. All right, let me come over here, and then come over here, and then Reptoids Research Center. There's a place that you can go, and you can learn about the Reptoid invasion. And it's right here. Rand's 14,000 mile per hour shuttles. Cattle mutilations. No. Basic facts, physical descriptions. Let me click on. Oh, I can't. That's right. This is just an image. But this is a real place, so go check it out. But it's very interesting to me with the Reptoid thing because this has been going on for quite a while. Actually, it's much older than you might think, and there's been these kind of accusations going back. A long time, and actually, if we even go deeper into our ancient mythologies and stuff, this is nothing new. But the current idea with the Reptoid is that there are a bunch of aliens that have come to Earth, and of course, you have that Blue Book thing where people put out listing all the different known aliens of the universe, and there's one particular race that is very egregious that everybody stands against, and they've come over here and they've taken over our governments and the control of our areas. That is the general idea of the Reptoids, and of course, this is tied in quite often, with a man by the name of David Icke. There he is in his shining glory, David Icke, the man, the myth, the legend. But nevertheless, a lot of people kind of attribute this to him, but which is a little unfair because there's a lot of other conversations that have less to do. But his is all about the alien invasion, really. But some people have taken it to much more wacky areas. But I would say some of the more popular and modern look at it has nothing to do with reptilians and more to do with, I don't know, maybe dinotoids. Maybe it's the dinosaurs evolved into humanoid type creatures and they've been ruling us since the beginning. Maybe they're the ones who created us as their slaves. It's possible. But nevertheless,
Wait, if
the
we're supposed
theories.
to be the slaves, then uh,
Are you
come they're not
interrupting me,
around?
Booster?
Yeah, I just don't understand. It's just a little bit silly.
A little bit. A little bit. Dude, I got a lot more silly for you, man. Hang on.
Oh, let's go. Let's
All
hear it.
right. Now, of course, David Icke is one of the ones who really pushes the idea of the royal families of Europe and even the world being these reptilian creatures, cold-blooded creatures that rule over us and such. And there's been a lot of fun
But
chuckles out of that. But
we
there
all
are
know
other
that.
people who go much deeper, like, say, Michael Cesarian and even Graham Hancock recently, if you guys enjoy these guys' alternative history people, but they get into the idea that actually the reptilian or the reptoids or the inhumanoids are actually a dimensional species that are offering us an opportunity to save ourselves, and actually they're helping us by murdering millions of us. You see, they need the blood essence in order for them to give us the information we need to transcend our mortal shells. Something like that. Yeah, and then it sounds like a wonderful idea. I love the theory. But of course, if we go back even further in time, we will come to an understanding that back in the day, if we look at a lot of our stories, what we have is uh, these aliens, whatever they may be, the gods, call them whatever you want, they created a slave species, but they made them too smart, right? So that slave species rebelled and escaped. So these god things, they decide, well, we need to do that again. We need our slaves after all. So they went and they made a second group, but this time we know our mistake. We made them too smart. So they dumbed them down and they created us, the humans. But see, the ones before that had already escaped, they were like, oh, that's very sad. We need to go help our younger and least brothers, and we got to go help them out. And they helped them escape, and they created a big old war. And things happened and exploded in the 12,000 year ago cataclysm was because of that. Oh, interesting. But then it still left these godlike creatures that needed their slaves because they got to have slaves, they're godlike and all. So then their third creation were the reptilians because they found their mistake, and their mistake was human emotion. Getting rid of the emotion, going to those cold-blooded reptilians. That's where they found the perfect slave. And today, of course, things get tied in because all of the European and many other world leaders have no children. They are childish maniacs trying to rule the world with their socialism. They must be reptilians. We've all seen it on the
Oh,
news.
yeah.
We've seen it. We've
That
seen their
makes sense.
eyes change. We've seen the diabolical nature of these people. This is the world we come into. The world of reptoids. Okay. What do you guys think? Was that a good primer? Did that set it up? I think
Oh
it set it
man,
up. I think it was awesome.
man, that's
I
an
like that.
Academy Award. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. If I could clap right now, I'd be doing it, but my hands are tied up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good hell,
Literally
George.
behind a chair right now.
I don't want to clap because I'm too chilled.
But anyway, this is a fun topic, right? I mean,
Mhm.
there are so many theories on this kind of thing. And of course, Eric here is saying, so the reptoids are the race from V. Yeah, dude. Well, there are many TV shows and movies that are placed upon the concept, just like They Live, which is an absolutely killer movie with Roddy Roddy Piper. If you haven't seen it, you're not a real American. Get out of here. But Mountains of Madness, ooh, Cthulhu mythos. Like I said, it is much older. But what do you guys think in general? Let me start on with the booster. How you doing today, booster? Are you feeling extra oily?
Oh, I'm tired. I didn't sleep well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Would you
Yeah.
like to? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dave has a good point. He says, "What about when Justin Trudeau's eyebrow fell off? That
Did
wouldn't
that actually
surprise me.
happen?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
Reptile confirmed. I could believe that.
sure. But what do you think about this whole reptoid conspiracy theory in general? It's one of the wackier ones. I mean, for me, I'd put this in
Mhm.
the extra wacky level, even more than flat Earth, dude. I
Even
mean,
more,
because
well, yeah.
yeah, well,
It is
because
a whole lot sillier, but I don't know. I only picked this because I thought it'd be funny. I
yeah,
don't
so do
find
I
it
agree.
impossible at all. But there are also so many things that are buried underneath it, right? They have been talking about the reptiles having their own little pedophile ring for the longest time, right? Which
Sure.
we've just we are really starting to uncover, right? The whole Satanist pedophile rings that rule the world. It's like
Mhm.
it always makes you think: is there some degree of truth to these people, or did they happen to luck out on certain elements? That's what I'm always wondering about these conspiracy types, like David Icke and Alex Jones, right?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
a
Well,
lot of things Alex Jones goes on about it tends to turn out true in one way or another.
oh no, Alex is actually quite
It's
accurate.
rare.
He's just very
Yeah,
theatrical. True.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, it is interesting, and even finishing what I was saying about the flat Earth people, and tying in what you said, there is a couple kernels of truth there. They have found a couple mistakes with the science and stuff, and they just kind of went to an extreme decision what that mistake meant. But there are always these little kernels of truth. I don't know if reptoids have any kernels, though. Because I understand the measurement as far as on sea level, how far you should be able to see, and the fact that we can actually see much farther than we're supposed to be as far as the science is concerned. I get that whole flat Earth, argument. But I don't know. Where's the kernel with reptoids? Anybody? Anybody?
Is there video of people like accidentally changing?
Oh, there's tons of them, dude. There's tons of them. Any static on
So
your
are
TV,
doctored?
Reptoid! Yeah.
Are they doctored or I've never watched any of these things. So is there anything that looked like, oh my god, he just switched?
There are a lot. Yeah. There's a ton of them. Yeah. Some of them are really good too.
The other things that David Icke was talking about is how they're all practically Satanists and they offer up sacrifices on certain places. It is all so strange. And what I'm always wondering is, where do you get your information?
Right.
Where's this coming from?
That's why I'm asking about the kernel, because with David Icke, he, all joking aside, I mean, even though he said he was Jeebus, you got to understand, the guy was a sports commentator for the BBC, right? Sports commentator, BBC, back when leisure suits were a thing. Okay, and the dude, right on live air, told the crew and the British public that he was Jesus returned. That's David Icke. But the thing about David, and he said he apologized for that. He was confused. Okay, all right. But the thing I have to give to David is he is a really good researcher. He does a lot of in-depth research, and he's pretty good about that. Yeah, he's taken his dislike of royalty and these kind of elite and twisted it with his reptoid ideas. And once again, it brings me back to the kernel because every conversation we have on TFT has a kernel of truth to it. Every one of them. They all do. There is some truth there. What the truth really means compared to what it has been twisted into is a separate conversation. But I just can't find the kernel for this particular conspiracy theory, which is quite popular. Everybody knows it. Everybody makes joking comments. I've even heard The Rock in an interview make a joking comment to reptoids, right? So everybody understands this conspiracy theory, but I don't know where the kernel is. And I was really hoping today that the people in here might be able to help me understand where the kernel is. And of course, we have a Lorenzo Sleestack in here, and he says he's a proud reptilian, as you should be, sir. As you
Confirmed.
should
We
be.
go.
Confirmed. Yeah.
We got it, boys.
Yeah. Well, Sleestack is from a TV show. Did you know that, Booster?
I know about TV shows. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But
I saw one once.
I know you have. But what do you think, though, Booster? Do you think there are other species? Let's just make it super simple. Are there other species living on the planet, sentient ones?
I could believe it.
That was really helpful. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's move over here to Dinale. What do you think about the whole concept of reptoids, Dinale? What's your idea here? Your initial opinion?
I mean, it's kind of laughable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can attribute being reptile people to anything, but when you were talking about it, it reminded me of Scientology. What Scientology believe that the spirit of the aliens came into the essence of man and they're trapped. So these reptiles coming, down from the stars to give us dimensional powers, and they take over our bodies spiritually, not physically, rings the same thing about the whole Scientology mythology that they tell their followers.
Xantu. I think he was a reptilian alien, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you, Chester. Mm-hmm. Chester, you have green eyes?
Me, I have multifaceted eyes. Therefore, they are sometimes green and sometimes blue.
Mm-hmm. You have good eyesight or hearing?
Reptile.
I do. I do have pretty good eyesight, and I have amazing hearing, and I actually am an R type. If that helps you out at all.
Wow. And
reptile.
you have having red hair?
No, I don't. I'm a blonde.
Uh, close enough.
Close enough.
The Aryan reptile.
Yeah.
You have a sense of not belonging to the human race.
No, maybe, especially when I'm
Maybe.
around Booster.
Does get
He
kind of feisty.
disgusts me.
Yeah, I
Do you
just
have
see too. That's part of
unexplained
the fun.
scars on the body?
D- uh, how did you know that was private?
Booster.
Huh?
You have a love for space and science?
I do.
Oh, and do you have the most important part, low blood pressure?
No, not at all.
Mm. So close.
Man, so close, so close. It's too bad. Yeah, no, my doctor says my heart and therefore blood pressure is kind of like a horse, and he doesn't get it. I'm 49 years old, and he's jealous. Yeah, that's what he said.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I'd have to say it in Japanese, but transliterated. You get it. Yeah, but
Right.
yeah, no, it is interesting with that, and of course, there's a lot of that kind of theory trying to make the white people the reptoids. I get it, particularly with the "we was kings" people. They like that because they hate the whites. But the story I was kind of delineating there in the primer was actually the ancient Irish origin story, which ironically, in the past decade or so, we found out is the oldest one we got. So it's kind of interesting. But that's what I was doing. I was just kind of modernizing it. And I think the person who's done the best with that kind of stuff is Michael Tsarian. And if you want to have a wild ride, go watch some of his videos because boy, is that interesting. That is a full-on researcher. That's a serious ass researcher, and he might make you a believer, baby. I'm telling you. My thetan level is the highest. Bullet says, "Awesome." Thetan level. I haven't heard that in a long time. Lorenzo says, "What software do you use, Chester?" It looks like Google Hangouts. It is Google Hangouts. You are correct, sir.
What? We cheated. We've been doing this the whole time.
What's
We
going
didn't have to
on?
change a thing.
Yeah, not at all. Not even a little. But who knows what the future will hold? I am looking into Discord right now, and it's kind of interesting. And Discord is responding to what Google is doing, and they're adding more and more because they want to get some of that market. I think it's smart. The Ray Thulu says the Irish would have conquered the world with their advanced technology if not for the invention of whiskey. Our downfall.
Mm-hmm.
It's too bad. Yeah, got to stay away from that whiskey. But
I
anyway,
could believe that.
possibly. Yeah, but you're a Maori. What do you know about whiskey? Moving
I'm not.
along,
I'm not
George.
even Maori, bro.
I know, dude. George? What is your general idea? What do you want to offer to the beginning of this conversation, sir? Please make it interesting. Please, I beg you.
All this reminds me of a documentary I saw one time. It's animated. It's called Fantastic Planet.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it chronicled the Nephilim and the human beings and also the Reptoids.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend people watch this documentary and come away with a little profound enlightenment.
There you go. George offered something too. And of course, I was thinking about the movie called Fantastic Planet. Had all that red screen when they were on Mars. It was pretty cool. I remember that. That was a good B movie. But anyway, thank you, George. But let's move on down to Todd.
No, that was. I think you were talking about his Forbidden Planet.
Nope, pretty sure it was Fantastic Planet. I'm sticking to it, George. Nope.
So you're not going to really believe this one,
Mhm.
but I would never bring untruths here, right?
No, of course
So
not. It's TFT.
I'm eating my alphabets this morning. And you know what alphabets are, right?
No.
Cereal with letters.
Oh yeah. I remember those. Yeah.
So in the milk, I get down to there's only a little bit left. There's plenty of milk, and it spells out
Jesus.
Reptoids are real.
Oh
I was
Shit.
freaking out.
Holy
Absolutely
cow.
freaking out.
They're watching you. They knew that we were gonna do this show.
I think they did.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, the whole Reptoid thing, you talk about high society families, the elitist families
Sure.
of our country are always tied to these reptoid theories. So that's kind of weird. I don't know why a normal person is never tied to them. You know what I mean? Like, your mechanic. So that's when I always think, oh, this is a bunch of hokey stuff.
Yeah, well, fair point. And I do think there's a I'm a serial killer, Bullet says. That's funny. But he spelled it
Uh,
cereal, not cereal. But
oh
yeah, it's
no.
cute. It's cute, Booster. But no, I think the thing with the Reptoids is it's a bit of projection. Because that's my whole theme for today. Where's the kernel? Because I can't find one. And all the other conspiracy theories you talk about, there's anything from a kernel to probably it's not a conspiracy theory, right? Because it's
Yeah.
probably real. But this one I think is coming out of anxiety, because as with everything, it connects into all the other things we talked about. Because that's the interesting thing. All conspiracy theories end up tying into the gods, right? And I think this is something that's been going on since the beginning of time. Whether you believe there were gods or aliens or beings or whatever, it doesn't matter. We humans have created this sycophantic, approach to how we come to be and what the higher powers play in our life. And I think when you take ideas of understanding that all the royalty of the royal families of Europe can trace their lineage back to Babylon. The fact that you have all the leaders of Europe right now, as well as other places like China or Korea or what have you, these leaders
China.
have no kids whatsoever, no children, right? Trudeau. I mean, of course, who knows? He's probably got a couple running around, but I don't know. Ladies like him, but I always kind of thought he was a little bit light in his loafers. But nevertheless,
No, no, Trudeau's got a family.
does he?
Actually, let me phrase it. The son of Fidel Castro, which is Trudeau, does have a
Mhm.
family.
Well, there you go. Okay, well, there you go. I stand corrected. But the European ones definitely don't. And I just think it's a lot of people trying to understand why these people do the evil that they do, because they do a lot of bad things. We do know that there's a lot of saturnal worship going on, not satanic worship. If you go and find Satanists are the weirdest thing in the world because they actually don't believe in anything, as well as Satan. They're atheists. They're anarchist atheists, is what they are. But the Saturnalists, that's a real thing, and the European elite are definitely part of that. The thing with Booster mentioned with the pedophilia and stuff, it's not a joke. It's a real deal. It's a thing that happens, and someone needs to get a handle on that because it's not good.
Mhm.
It's not good. But I just think it's a lot of
Not a,
internal. Yeah, go ahead.
if you go away with any message today, it's diddling kids is bad.
Yeah, yeah,
That's that's the theme of the day.
yeah.
What? Have you been drinking?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
No,
Yes.
I'm just tired.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what to say, dude. I just this is a funny one. It's a goofy one. In a minute, I'm gonna go take a look at some David Icke stuff. But even with David, I mean, he does push the Reptoid stuff. But and he can make a compelling argument actually. But I'm much more interested in his conversations about the hollow moon and things like that because hollow planets, hardcore planets, or I mean, hard planets, the science is leaning more and more toward the idea that they're all hollow. They're more like a geode, even our own planet. So the science is starting to come into a odd level plane with David Icke. Now the world is coming to an end. Absolutely. Ray Thulu says Queen Elizabeth is descended from Mohammed. It's an interesting family tree to trace out. I believe it. hmm I know the pieces fit, Joe says. Lady Celtic Moon says, or they are protecting their families but letting people think they have none. Dun dun dun. That's possible. Eric Hawkins says, if you have to go away with that message, it's too late for you already. True, true. Obi-Wan Vlog says, still waiting for you to cover the flat Earth. We've covered it in little pieces here and there, but you're right. We haven't dove into it directly. And ironically, I know a lot about that. Actually, I've watched a lot of videos because it's fascinating. I love conspiracy theories. You guys know this. I think they're fun and entertaining. I don't care what truth is. And a lot of people, I think, spend way too much time caring and wondering about what truth is. Why do you care? Does it change your life that this thing is true or that thing is true? Of course it doesn't. I just enjoy the ride, to be honest with you. But yeah, before I go over and start looking at some of the stuff on the internet, anybody have any other comments?
Nope, not at all.
All right, well, there it is. The Reptoids it is. Let me come over here and let you guys see what I'm doing. All right. No, that's not it. This is it. Don't do that. All right, let me come back over here now. Boom. All right. Now, here's what I was looking at earlier when I was setting this up. Now, when you put Reptoids into the search parameters, this is what comes up. Now, we have reptilians. Just over here on the side, it jumps up immediately and is telling you about these things. Reptilians are purported reptilian humanoids, that's not a good sentence, who wrote this, that play a prominent role in fantasy, science fiction, ufology, and conspiracy theories. The idea of reptilians was popularized by David Icke, interesting, a conspiracy theorist who claimed shape-shifting reptilian aliens control Earth by taking on human forms and gaining political power to manipulate human society. Well, there you go. Why they can't do that as a plumber, now can they? Icke has claimed on multiple occasions that many of the world leaders are or are possessed by so-called reptilians. So the reptilians are more than some manner of species. They also have some kind of possessive powers. Interesting. But then again, demons, more than the modern Catholic demon, has been definitely described as reptilian, isn't it? But let's take a look at what we got here. Reptoid.com, crypto hunter John Rhodes. Reptoid, alien species. Nice. We have Reptilian Agenda, the Reptoids, lizards from Orion. Ooh, Todd, they're from Orion. I didn't know that. We have another channel here, Reptoid D20. That's a game. Okay. The Cryptid Zoo, Reptilian Bipeds. Ooh, I might have to click on that one. 10 aliens, Reptoid celebrities who are taking over the internet. I think that needs clicking. Reptoid Encyclopedia Dramatica, dun dun dun, and then Reptilian Wikipedia. Look how long it took me to get down to Reptilian Wikipedia, and that's not even reptoids. That's actually reptilians. It's the next one, reptilian humanoids.
Trying to bury the truth.
Right. I mean, look how deep it is, though. That
we know
shows you
that
how
Wikipedia
popular the
has it.
conversation. It's crazy, dude.
Wikipedia has the truth.
It does. Ooh, they're 7 to 9 feet tall. I didn't know that. That's pretty big. And one of them owns Sri Lanka.
That's
Nightclubs
pretty
in Sri
big.
Lanka. That's pretty big. Yeah, that's pretty big. But let me check. I gotta check out. This one. I gotta click it. I'm clicking it. It's clicked. 10 alien reptoid celebrities who are taking over the internet. Okay. Scooby-Doo. Damn it. Damn it.
What are they doing with Scooby-Doo? What does Scooby-Doo have to do with reptiles?
I don't know. Hold on a second. Is this an alien? That looks like a China lady. China lady to me. That doesn't look like an alien. Okay, I guess their eyes kind of look reptilian. You get him, Captain Kirk.
Little eyes. This is when a brave soldier fought on the battlefield with the reptilian menace.
Oh no!
Please rip in peace, Captain Kirk.
Oh no! Barack Obama's one.
What? No! Not
Who?
Barack, I trusted you.
All right, they said, why? Racism, mainly, which is weird because most of the alien reptilians in power, as you'll see from the remainder of the list, are white. But reptilian believers have gone to great lengths to argue based on numerous animal-like physical traits, as well as his powerful status, that Obama is the scariest reptilian of them all. I'm gonna love this page. This is gonna be an awesome page. And but they've irked me though.
See.
You don't
They're
mess with
trying to throw
Scooby-Doo.
us off their scent.
Yeah, right, dude. Put Scooby-Doo on a reptilian page. That's what I got to say. You can't disrespect it. I don't know who this guy is, but he's definitely a reptilian. Go ahead, Booster.
That was my Scooby-Doo laugh.
Oh, was it? I see.
Jack Nicholson. Well, just look at him. That's how evidence.
Yeah. Well, just look at him. Okay. Oh, poor Jack. Yeah, it's not nice. I told you guys about the Gorn. Nah, no, dude. We know about the Gorn. We're a big Trekkie here, Dave. But Jack Nicholson, he never did nothing to nobody. Probably.
Nothing. Maybe.
Scooby Doo. God, you bastards. All right, hold on a second. Oh, hi. Beloved
Scooby
Great
Doo's a
Dane.
reptile.
I guess so, dude. Beloved Great Dane, leader of the gang, perverter of dastardly crimes who
The
otherwise would have
preventer.
gotten away with it. This is taking a piss article from the Daily Dot. Why? Read the why. Tell us why, Booster.
Why? According to his own series, Scooby-Doo is actually descended from an ancient race of otherworldly Sumerian gods called the Anunnaki, who
Anunnaki.
communicated to their followers by taking the forms of animals. But the Anunnaki are also the same Mesopotamian deities who are actually early alien visitors, according to a popular theory started by a New Age philosopher, Zakaria Sitchin.
Zachariah
Oh,
Sitchin. Yeah, you're doing good.
that's a terrible name.
Yeah, that's
Sitchin.
that's a Jewish name. You're an anti-Semite now.
It's true. I can't. Hail. Anyway, Sitchin mistranslated Sumerian in order to argue that the Anunnaki visited Earthlings from the planet Nibiru to interact with Sumerians at least 8,000 years ago. The truth, according to Sitchin, was out there, way, way out there.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
That was something.
Wow. Scooby Doo. Unbelievable. Nikola Tesla. Why? Because he was interested in space. That's all you need. That's it. He looks like an alien. That's for sure.
Wasn't one of James
What?
Bond's pseudonyms? Didn't he use Stitchin?
I don't
You know how he
know.
sometimes say it was somebody else. I thought it was something like that.
I don't know. I don't know who you are, so you're not important. We're not laughing. Lord, you mean this silly little Australian girl? Why? Why?
She's
Oh,
from
hi.
New Zealand.
Well, that's worse. God.
Yeah.
High cheekbones. All right, then don't have high
Yeah,
cheekbones.
I could believe that.
Yeah. Well, you know what that means? Elizabeth Warren is not Pocahontas. She's alien lady. Yeah, high cheekbones. Because my mother said you have high cheekbones, therefore you're a Native American. Good job, Elizabeth Warren. Good job. But oh God, Benedict Cumberbatch, leave the gays
What?
alone.
Benedict Cumberbatch gay?
Why not?
No.
Why not? I say
Why
he
not?
is, therefore he is.
Tinfoil talk, baby.
Yeah, babe. Sean Connery, George Lazenby, and Roger Moore. So all the Bonds, basically. They couldn't find any verification on this one. You couldn't, huh? That David Icke generally acknowledges to be the creator of reptilioid philosophy. He's not really, but okay. Believes that the first three James Bonds were reptilian conspiracies. Given that Connery's name is an anagram for on every screen. Wow.
My God.
Wow. You mind blown.
That convinced me.
Lorenzo Sleesak said, I watched an excellent interview called David Icke's discusses theories and politics with Ehrman Holmes. Actually, David Icke is great to listen to. I'm joking. Go watch David Icke, dude. You'll have fun. He's great fun. His lectures are awesome. He's really good at doing what he does. Never trust a talking animated dog. It's true. It's okay. Okay, I'll give you that one, Nick. That's for you. Eric says, Chester is a big Trekkie. Well, that explains the Star Wars hate. I knew it.
Well,
He is a spy.
well, he's right about that. The last time somebody listened to a dog, they killed up 7 or 9 people in New York.
That's right. Something about Sam and
Yeah.
siblings. I'm not sure. But Angelina Jolie, dude, obviously, and the picture proves it. Look at it. She's a wacko. Come on, she's a wacko.
It's
And then
confirmed.
Anderson Cooper.
200%. I mean, I could actually believe that something's up with that guy.
Maybe. Yeah, but why they keep picking on the gays? Leave the gays alone. Just because they're gay doesn't mean they're reptilian.
Don't you know that the gays is is the reptile agenda. Don't you know anything about this?
Well, it must be.
Think about this. Tails are very phallic.
Mm-hmm.
Gay.
It's true. It's gay.
Confirmed. I
Mhm.
It's definitely
compounded
gay.
it. I figured it out.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
So he dug into not only understanding where the gays come from, they're aliens. He also understands that the Jews are what again? What are the Jews again? Tell us what the Jews are. And
Reptile.
silence. Silence. That's what I expected. And Ike was defending Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, dude. I'm not saying believe David Icke. I'm just saying it's fun, dude. He's a fun lecturer. Actually, he does a really good job putting presentations together. Eric Hawkins says, "When is Elizabeth Warren going to pay back all those grants? She ain't no Indian." Now that's a fair thing. I mean, it's funny to laugh at her, especially when Trump's like, "Okay, okay, Pocahontas." That's funny. We get my wife loves that because it's hilarious. But it's a serious point as well. She did take government money for being Indian, and she's not. Ooh.
Nice.
Mm. And of course, my wife had a good comment on that. She says, "Well, didn't anybody check?" And I was like, "No, baby, she's a woman. You have to listen and believe." She said, "Okay, no one listens and believes me." I said,
Okay.
"That's right. We're in Japan, baby.
I
Getting
should
that
tell them
Western
I'm
freedom."
Native American and a woman. Bloody hell.
Right, right. And you
They'll
can
be
these days.
throwing money at me.
Well, you can with
Yeah.
a transgender agenda. You could certainly do that. Do you hear that
Yeah.
Equality Act bill that they want to put in? That's got to help you a
Ooh.
lot, Booster. Your future is
Yeah.
golden.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I've
What
got
else?
it figured out.
What else should I click on? I guess I got to go up to the top search. www.reptoids.com. I'm
Oh
clicking
yeah,
it.
we gotta
I'm
check this out.
clicking it.
We gotta check out this website.
This is the one
I
I
hope
was
we got
showing
an
you
ad block
earlier.
or something. Oh,
No,
here
this is
we
the one I was
go.
showing you earlier. So hold on a second,
Appearances. We got
please. This is crypto hunter John Rhodes. He's this amazing website here, by the way. It's just killer. But Booster, you got to read it. You got to give us this blue intro into what this channel is about. Please, please, sir.
all right. Let's do it. Let's do this. In our quest to answer the age-old question, are we alone? We've been conditioned to search space for aliens and ETs. This is a classical magician's distraction. Instead of looking for other than human intelligent life off our planet, we should instead be searching Earth's many thousands of miles of underground tunnels, caverns, and cave systems. Scientists have recently updated their identified animal species list total to 1.2 million, and the predicted total species list to 8.7 million. That means that we have yet to encounter the other 86% or majority of life forms with which we share our tiny blue planet. Our underworld is where we will one day discover various species of Earth evolved intelligent beings that we have been mistakenly calling aliens. They're actually visiting ET bases of operations.
Ooh, so it's an underground conspiracy. Well, here's the
So
thing.
these ones come from the underworld.
They're the underground. Yeah.
They've
And
been here all along.
they have been. They have been. And here's the thing I have to say to that, though. And I've been hearing this for quite a while, and I've been silent until now, Booster. I've held my tongue. I've held my tongue. But I'm not going to hold it now. They're reptilians. Therefore, they like the sunlight. Matter of fact, they do something we call basking in it
Oh,
because they're cold blooded. You dumb
Chester,
bastard.
Chester, they're near the molten core, so it's hot,
Oh,
idiots.
okay. I do apologize. So what do they
Very
do?
disproven.
What do they do in the interim?
What?
When they're traveling between their molten core to the surface to do their nefarious deeds, what do they have? Special magic suits that keep them warm?
Elevators.
There it is. There it is, guys.
They're padded. They got good AC.
Oh no, dude. Oh my god. I love the underground idea. I love it because it's so stupid. But then again, maybe they're not reptilians at all. Maybe they're dinotoids. And then they could do it. Birds could live underground. We know how much birds love that. Anyway, let me see here. Who is John Rhodes? Should I click it?
Who is John?
Should we learn it?
Let's discover who John
Let's
Rhodes
go find
is.
see who John Rhodes. Where's your picture, John? We need a picture, John.
We
What are you
don't. Well,
doing?
John Rhodes is a man of mystery.
I suppose
John
he
Rhodes.
is.
If John Rhodes shows him face, John Rhodes is probably not even John Rhodes' true name. But if John Rhodes were to show
Uh-huh.
John Rhodes' face,
Hmm.
the reptiles would go hunt for John Rhodes.
That's true. They
So
would, and we
who
got to
is
keep John Rhodes
John
safe.
Rhodes? He
Yeah.
is exposing the reptilian agenda.
And Eric Hawkins is correcting me. He says, Chester, you're assuming Earth reptilians are cold blooded. Alien reptoids might not be. Then they wouldn't be reptilian in classification. But let's get another voice in here. Todd? I would, I've never had heard you read something, Todd. I want to hear your wonderful golden Massachusetts voice, putting down some lyrical lines, please, sir.
Did you just dox Todd?
What? Oh, because I said the state he might be nearby. Really?
Oh,
You want me to
no.
read John Rhodes' brief biography?
Yes,
Yeah,
please. It's not brief at all, but you go right ahead.
John Rhodes is the world's foremost authority in reptilian, humanoid, or reptilian aliens.
Claps. Yeah, that deserves claps. Yeah. Blue ribbon. Blue ribbon. Okay, go ahead.
His pioneering work investigating claims of reptilian alien contact eventually resulted in the birth of an entirely new genre of study in the UFO community.
Ooh.
In addition to researching evidence of reptilian humanoid activity, John has assisted law enforcement officials in cattle mutilation cases. John's 2006-2007 Montana cattle mutilation investigations led him to conclude that the multitude of the mutilation
stations.
mutilation surgeons were
Yes.
attempting to direct the public's attention to the dangers of MRSA? Really? Like pathogenic diseases spreading from pig feeding operations? It's kind of weird.
I like how the lizards had nothing better to do than come up and screw with cows, you know?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they were actually trying to save us. They're here to help us, Booster.
They're like the cow
John's-
tipping youths, aren't they? But they just screw them and they like mess them up.
Why do they use the word surgeons? Are they mutilating with skill?
Yeah, actually, that's the weird
Oh,
thing about the
precision.
cow mutilations. They are very precise. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so maybe it's like practice. Maybe it's med school students, finding their best way to practice.
Maybe.
Become a surgeon.
Maybe.
John's highly controversial perspectives have provided audiences with an entirely new view into the world of cryptozoology, UFOs, underground bases, extraterrestrial life, and interterrestrial civilizations.
Ooh.
Okay, what's an interterrestrial
Hollow
civilization?
world, sir. Hollow world.
Right.
Right.
Is that like the last movie from Planet of the Apes? They came from underneath in the.
Well, no,
Is that
hollow Earth is meaning that on the inside of the Earth there's another Earth.
Did you just spoil the latest Planet of the Apes movie?
Oh my God! Spoilers.
He has lectured both in the U.S. and internationally. He has also appeared on TV shows, including Monster Quest, The Conspiracy Zone,
Ooh.
BBC's Conspiracies, Animal X, Unsolved Mysteries, and most recently on the History Channel's UFO Hunters.
Wow.
In shows discussing the Dulce base, America's secret underground tube shuttle system, in the MIB. Does that really say MIB?
Yes, it
The
does.
Men in Black.
Men in Black, baby. It's the Men in Black.
Near Mariposa, Mid Pines, California, just south of Yosemite National Park. Do we really have a tube shuttle system that we don't know about?
No. Well, we might. You never know. We could. That'd be cool if we did. But that is one of the underground theories.
Is that how my check gets across to the west?
I guess so. But this is so we got ourselves a minor celebrity here. He's been on a bunch of stuff. Awesome, Mr. Rhodes. Therefore, since you've showed your face before, why am I not seeing it here? Why don't I have a headshot?
I love that the History Channel just shows wacky shit now, rather than history.
Right? Yeah. Well, they're trying to make
UFO
money.
stuff. It's ancient aliens. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And of course, Eric makes a very good point. He says, "Isn't John Rhodes War Machine?" You're right. We've uncovered it. Rhodey.
Oh, Rhodey, what are you doing with your spare time? I
Yeah, I
think he
know.
went off
It's
the
horrible.
deep end ever since Tony Stark died at the end of Endgame. Spoilers.
Yeah, that's spoilers. Yeah. Chester is busting on John Rhodes. What are you trying to hide, Chester? Dun dun dun. The Savage Lands. Well, the Savage Lands technically are in Antarctica, but okay. I recently interviewed a self-taught veterinarian surgeon. Benedict, you should tell us more
Oh, it's
about that.
James Rhodes, not John Rhodes.
Damn it. Oh, well. Let's see here. What do we got? Physical descriptions, classic articles. Ooh, classic articles. Rand's 14,000 mile per hour shuttles. Okay. The Bishopville Lizard Man and cattle mutilations. We got choices. I can't resist the 14,000 mile per hour shuttle. I got to get
I
to
want
that.
to. I want to know.
Oh, look. Oh, there's a picture, but which I can't click on. Why can't I click on it? You're not a very good web page maker. Oh, he's even got descriptions, Todd.
Whoa.
Whoa, is that a muffler?
It looks like a
Oh, that's a
muffler.
tube system.
It's a
It's
tube
a tube
system.
system.
So
It's
I
a
was
sh-
almost correct about my elevator theory. I see.
yeah, you're almost right. Nearly, except for instead of being perpendicular, it's parallel. Real close.
Yeah. Yeah, those words you just said.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's look at the physical description. And we're just having fun with this. Don't take it too serious. If you guys don't get offended, because we're having a laugh at reptoids. But I mean, once again, where's the kernel? you know.
Like Sanders?
Ooh. What do you say?
Like Colonel Sanders?
No, the kernel of truth. Todd.
I know.
The kernel of truth. Okay, so we have the tailless reptoids. Tailless. Oh, that's not nice. They don't have tails. That seems sad. I don't know. We have the Dracos, and they got wings, dude. We have the Draco Prime, which is even better than the Draco, and then we have the Greys. Ooh,
This is turning into a D&D game.
it
with the
is,
different
man. It
bug
is.
species.
This is an absolute crap website, though. Come on, minor celebrity, do better.
Do better.
Do better. Aliens fandom. They have a wiki. Already a better site. Automatically, I can click on stuff. Ooh, she got a reptilian kind of head. That's what they're trying to say there. I get it.
Oh.
Oh, look, it's
Wow.
is this supposed to be Sekhmet? No, it's not Sekhmet. That's what's his face?
Have you guys ever done an episode about these cranial issues and cranial things? that
We
they found
covered it. We covered a little
So
bit when we were talking about ancient alien stuff. Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I said, all of this stuff ties into the rest of it. But it's kind of funny to me because this right here is a already much better page than John Rhodes, even though he's obviously a celebrity who's been on everything.
Mhm.
Let me see here. Ooh, Reptoid. Oh, we already saw that. The reptilian, and they're from Orion here. Okay, let's find out about it. Oh, look, it's Orion. Oh, okay. And I can't click on this stuff either. Why can't you people
Because
make web pages? God, this
because this is
sucks.
from the 90s.
Oh, you're right. It probably is, dude. It's been around forever, huh?
Yep.
Archive 1999. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not reading it. There is an interesting thing though, because that just this is kind of off the topic, but this is very interesting here. Orion's Nebula. Now, let me make it bigger. There we go. Now, Orion's Nebula is a very interesting thing. There's been a lot of conspiracies and stuff around that. We could do a whole show on Orion, I guess. It would take a lot of prep to make that fit in an hour, though. But the most interesting thing to me, and I suggest you go check it out. There's a guy on the internet who has put together a very in-depth series of videos. I mean, a lot more than our buddy John Rhodes there. And what he's done is, I think, as far as I'm concerned, he's proven that Michelangelo was painting the Orion Nebula. And if you go look at his Sistine Chapel, where God is, a creation of man, Adam, and all that stuff. Now we know it's a brain. We get that, right? That's well known. But actually, he has made a point-for-point reference with the Orion Nebula in that piece of painting, and obviously Michelangelo was using the Orion Nebula to create that picture. So, what was he trying to say? What was his point? And how did he get such a good look at it? Because, as far as I'm concerned, that's not a conspiracy theory. He has shown beyond a doubt, as far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what Michelangelo was doing, and that brings up a lot of questions. And that's kind of the interesting thing about conspiracy theories. They tend to bring up more questions than they answer. But there is a recent thing, and there's a movie I would suggest you go watch. It's called Tim's Vermeer. Now, Vermeer is let me see here. You guys probably recognize when you see it. This fella, right? He did a whole bunch of paintings and stuff in his studio, which is a single room. It's, if you recognize, they're all in one same place. And with this guy, Tim something, I can't remember his name. He's like buddies with Penn and Teller, those comedian guys. But what he has uncovered, and I once again I think he's done a great job with it, is it's always been a bit of a mystery how we went from the medieval art, dark age medieval art, which was kind of crap. I mean, it was very crap. And then all of a sudden we had this amazing modern style art. And like, this is 400 years ago, this art, right? I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Mm.
And how did that happen? It's a mystery within the art world, actually. And no one knows how we went from pretty crap and then boom, all of a sudden this amazing art. What happened? What is it going on? Tim Vermeer was decent, Joe. But what he did in that movie, or a documentary, I'd say is more what it is. What he did was he showed that at the same time, there was an interesting craze going on in Europe at the time. And of course, if you don't know this, if you haven't read world history and stuff like that, then maybe you don't understand that there is no other art from anywhere in the world that compared to what was going on in Europe in the 17th, 18th, 19th century. Nowhere, right? The Europeans were absolutely killing it. No one had this level of art until recently. Now, of course, you can find great art from anywhere in the world. But at that time, there was no art that even compared to the level that the Europeans were putting out. But at the same time, there was this interesting craze going on with lenses, telescopes, all kind of things like that. It was a craze. Everyone was into it. It was the middle class and the upper class fun thing that they were doing. And what he did in that movie was he showed that what they were doing was they were using lenses and pinholes and various other things. They were using technology to get this art and make perfect copies, meaning they weren't just great artists, which they were that too, but they were actually using technology to create the art we see today. It's quite fascinating, and I suggest you go read it. It has nothing to do with Reptoids, but go watch it. Sorry, but it's really really interesting thing. But coming back to Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. I won't go into that. You guys can check it yourself. Maybe I'll prep it for another show because we could do it on. We could do all kind of things with it. But it is very interesting that that thing with Michelangelo is connected to Orion's nebula. And it's also interesting because a lot of people who are into this reptoid stuff say that Michelangelo is part of the reptilian conspiracy. They often throw him and Leonardo da Vinci, anybody who's smart, right, gets thrown in as a reptoid because, reasons. There's my circular logic. I came back, dude. Camera obscura. That's right, Joe. That's right. And seriously, I mean, no joke. All joke. We're having kind of joking show today. I get it, but all joking aside, dude, go check out Tim's Vermeer. That is a really interesting documentary, and I think he's onto something. What do you think, Joe? You checked it out. Do you think he's onto something, or you think he's off base? Because there are scholars who would argue viciously against him. I think he's onto something. Anyway, anybody have anything else we want me to search? I think we've beaten reptilians to
Wait,
death.
what do you think he's onto though? I mean, explain
Oh, okay.
exactly what you're getting.
Well, a art historian would say that the bloom of art was simply the ability. People had more time on their hands, and therefore they had the ability to learn and master things. And these people were just brilliant geniuses that came out of nowhere that could geniusly paint things. But with the camera obscura idea, what it's saying is they were using lenses. So what would they do? They would take a a photograph or say a room with Vermeer. That's why he chose Vermeer to go with, because all these paintings are in the same room. If you go look at his stuff, it's in
Mhm.
the same room. And there's these two big windows here on the left hand side that are flowing in. You get a good look at it here as well, right? And
Mhm.
what he did was he had a setup in that room. We'd have the models standing doing whatever they're doing, and he would take a lens and put it in front of his face, and therefore he would look at the person in front of him, and the lens was picking up the reflection of the person, and he headed over his whatever they call the paper that they paint on. Damn it, canvas. There it is. And he would paint in the colors and various details, and when the color was perfect, it would actually disappear from the edge of the lens because it was melded perfectly, as with the lines and stuff. So in a way, he was air tracing, kinda taking real life and tracing it using lenses to bring it onto his eye, and then he could paint on the paper or the canvas. And by looking at the lens and the paper at the same time, he could make sure everything was matched perfectly. And this explains why Vermeer, in particular, who's called the person who paints with light, he's considered one of the greatest artists of all time, right? And how did he get his lighting so perfectly? It's like impossible to get that, but this is the reason why he got it. And you just really got to go watch it. I think it lays. It's fascinating. It's really really interesting, and I think there's truth to it. And in the documentary, they demonstrate it quite clearly, actually. Um,
Oh, the technique. They demonstrate the
yes,
technique
they
with you
do.
were talking about
Yes, they
the
do.
lens.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Because I know the art in this time period was commerce, and commissions were how these artists survived.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
in the schooling and the mastering and the apprenticing and stuff like that was all almost like colleges today. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was a much bigger deal to become a student and then an apprentice and then
that's right.
you know so this was their sort of commerce was completely different than when it came to art.
Oh yeah,
And
that's true.
obviously, the whole thing behind the Medicis. They commissioned 90% of all the greatest works of
They
that
did.
time period.
They did. Yeah, that's very very
So,
true.
obviously they didn't get Joe Blow to do them. They got the best of the best.
Yeah, but
And
what Tim is saying though is that
mhm,
the best were using technology to make that best, actually, and it explains how things transferred over because the tech had caught up with the skill, or with the need, right? And
mhm,
Joe says that the Tim's Vermeer is legit. I think so. The debate regarding Vermeer is over the idea over validity of the arts of reproduction, drawing from mind versus drawing from reference, etc. More artistic issues than scientific. True, that is traditional, Joe. But I think this documentary shows us that there's a lot of science involved too. The light boxing, yeah, bullet. It's kind of like a weird, early, more complicated form of light boxing. It doesn't, from watching the documentary, it's not easier. It doesn't make it easier. It actually seems like it's a lot more complicated. But what it does is allow them to get a perfect reproduction, not only of the body form, because you look at this lady here. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, look at how accurate she is. But it's also accurate in the color and the lighting. So they would go through this extra difficulty, this extra trouble, because and the difficulty of it, because in the end it gave us this, opposed to something that's not as accurate or as good. So I just say go watch it. It is way off topic of what we're supposed to be talking about, but
it's
Yeah, what does
$3.99
it have to do with
on YouTube.
reptiles?
it has nothing to do with reptiles. I do apologize, Booster. I'm sorry. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
ruin my day.
sorry.
Oh well.
Good old Joel Blow. Joe says that the questions raised by Tim's Vermeer is yes, anyone can do what Vermeer did, but does that make them an artist or a technician? And yeah, that's exactly it. Is it artistry or being a technician? Because anyone could do it. And the guy Tim, I wish I could remember his name offhand, but the guy who did the documentary, because he loves art, he's not an artist. Matter of fact, he's pretty horrible. But by using this technique and taking the time to learn it, he actually did amazing reproductions. So it is one of those things that anybody can do it because it is kind of like tracing. It is kind of like light boxing in the most complicated way imaginable. But it's interesting. And of course, this is all coming out of Michelangelo being connected to the Reptoids because of his amazing skills and such. Because once again, people can't do things because they're skilled. They have or have technology. In this case, they do things because of aliens. The aliens did it, which is how. There you go. You happy, Booster? I brought it back. I brought it back.
Yeah, I could believe that.
All right, cool. Anyway, I think we beat this one to death. Let me come back over here to the guys. Unless anybody has anything else that they want to add, did you have a? Ooh, don't do that. Did you have a presentation for us, Booster?
Oh no.
Okay, good. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. That was fun. Reptoids are a good laugh, and once again, I don't want to disrespect anyone who believes in reptoids. You go on
I
and
do.
enjoy that. But for me, it keeps coming back to the same question with this one in particular: where is the kernel of truth? I mean, where is it? Because every other conspiracy theory we've done has had a kernel of truth to it, but this one doesn't. And I would love someone to come and demonstrate to me where that is because I would love to be involved with it. Because, like I said, I love conspiracy theories, man. They're fun, right? And of course,
Hmm.
I don't take them very seriously. Next week, weather machines. Well, we've covered them a couple times. You know what we should do? I'm just going to bite the bullet. Next week, we're doing flat Earth.
Oh,
It's
we're doing it.
we're doing it. We're doing
Woo,
it.
lad.
We're doing it
It's
live.
happening. Doing it
Yeah.
live.
Doing it live. Yeah, no, we're gonna do flat Earth next week. You guys can any of you hang in a conversation about flat Earth? Anybody? God, see, this is the problem. So if any of you guys listening, um, the colors in our Orion photos are added. Well, all space pictures are created by artists when it comes right down to it, and that's not a conspiracy theory. But if any of you guys listening know anything at all about flat Earth and would love to come on and talk to us, please let me know because I do want people who want to come on and have knowledge about something to talk about it. Now I can go rattle on about the flat Earth for an hour pretty easy, but I would love to have other people who can give presentations and opinions as well. So, why are you biting me, Chester? I know,
Why
biting
are you
you?
biting him? That's rude.
I don't know.
Don't
I,
do
I
that.
apologize.
For goodness sake.
Goodness gracious. Kennedy and the Anunnaki. He signed a deal to go to the moon with the Russians and was killed 10 days later. Dun, dun, dun. Awesome.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The constant and perpetual reasons why Kennedy was assassinated. It amazes me. It does amaze me.
I went looking
Mhm.
for the thing you talked about the last week. That's funny. And you talked about it looked like she had shot him. Like it almost does look like she shoots him underneath the chin,
That's right.
and
Yep.
then does try to jump out of there.
Yep.
But that kind of creeped me out because that's not the way it looked the
Nope.
very first time I ever
No,
saw
it
that,
didn't.
or even
Because
when you see it in the movie.
yeah, because you know
You
how
know,
people are, dude. There's no way that if that video was the same, people wouldn't have been talking about the fact that, and there wouldn't have been conspiracies around Jacqueline killing her husband, and there was never even a peep
right?
about it. Not even a peep.
And I don't think she actually did. And
No.
I do think somebody from a different angle shot him, and that's always been a point of contention with I think the world when it really comes to
Well,
that assassination. But it almost kind of is kind of weird how she got in close and then got away. You
it
know,
is. But for me, it's more important. Why did they feel the need to change it? is it to simply see what they could get away with the tech, because George was talking about this earlier, and I think it's connected to the Zapruder film actually. The fact that they're able to recreate voices perfectly now. They say they're just outside the uncanny valley, but as far as we know, the government might well be beyond the uncanny valley. Especially if they can take time with it. But what is their ultimate purpose for doing that? Because the Zapruder film is obviously changed. So therefore, the question is why? You know, that's my question. So, and Bullet says flat girls are real. Yes, sadly they are.
Yeah, what a
Yeah,
waste.
yeah. No, I don't know. I like the little boobies are all right for me. I don't mind little boobies. I like
No,
them. I like the middle ones, but little ones are all right. All right.
we
The
need
no
to
ones
cut
at
them
all.
out of
That's
the
kind of
gene
troublesome.
pool.
Yeah, you can't respect the flat chested girl. You don't have no love for them.
No,
All right, fine.
big
Uh,
bulbs are nothing.
well, that's a
I
good
want
point,
to
Eric.
slap in the face when they turn.
That's true. You want to get knocked out by that
Uh,
jug, huh?
uh,
But Eric Hawkins says, did the JFK video change in the JFK movie too? Well, I bet you if you go to try to find it on the internet, it did. I bet you it did. I don't know what to tell you about it, but I, without question, know that the Zapruder film has changed. I know. Todd and I, people are in you era as well, Eric. We grew up with it, dude. That thing was on the TV all the time, man. They were always talking about Kennedy's assassination in the 70s and 80s, man. They never shut up about it. So whatever. And interesting thing about JFK, the movie, I'm in that movie actually.
what?
Yeah, no,
Wait,
I was uh, I was at the University of Rhode Island in the marching band, and they sent a team over, like a consulting team, and they needed to have a band to put in the background for a couple of scenes. So they took a bunch of us, and at that time I was playing tuba or sousaphone for the marching band, and I was chosen because I don't know why, because I had a sousaphone on, I guess. But they put us in this little gazebo in the background. Of a couple of the shots, a couple different time periods. We had different costumes and stuff. There was like I don't know, 10 of us, maybe less. It wasn't a lot of us. But I am in that movie. I'm way in the background. But yay, hands up. Awesome.
did you kill JFK, Chester?
I
Is that what
might
you're
have.
admitting to?
I might have. Yeah, yeah. Well,
You
anybody
killed
else
him with
here
the tuba.
with a tuba?
No, a Zulaphone, which nobody knows what that
A
is.
sousaphone? You don't know what a sousaphone is?
No, never. That's
Wow.
like a kazoo. Is that
No,
like a
dude, it's
kazoo that's on a
the big
long
old
string?
round twisty tuba that you see the marching band guys wear. It's called a
Yeah,
sousaphone. Da 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 dum 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 da dum da dum. Sousa. No, okay,
yeah.
whatever.
You got one?
Um,
You
no,
got
I don't
one?
know. I
Can
don't
you
have one. I
grab
haven't
it?
played a sousaphone
No,
in decades, dude. But
because it's not cool, right? You don't play it because it doesn't get the girls.
no, it doesn't.
Am I
Saxophone
wrong?
gets the girls. No, you're right. You're
That's
100%
right.
right.
So you
Yeah.
gave up the Zoozaphone for the one that gets girls.
Well, I actually was a saxophone player that could play brass as well, and they asked me to play the tuba because they needed one, so I did.
I'm just curious how many years it took you to realize I gotta get a sexier instrument.
It didn't take any time at all. I was playing saxophone at the same time. Yeah, yeah. But no, seriously, any of you guys have been in an extra in a movie? Anybody been in the background of a movie? It's not that hard to do, actually.
I've been a little bit more of that, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Oh, what kind of movie were you in, Todd?
No, it wasn't a
Oh
movie.
no, were
Uh-oh.
you an extra? Were you a towel guy, Todd? Is that what it is?
He could have been a
A
fluffer.
towel guy?
uh,
I was implying you mop up cum.
that's what he was saying. Yeah, that's what he was saying. It's not the Susie phone, it's the sousaphone, you bastards. But anyway, let me get out of here.
You should
Uh,
have smoked the phone because that's what it was doing for you.
Oh God, these people. God, why have you burdened me with them? But anyway, next week we're definitely doing flat Earth. It's definitely something I talk about. I'd like to have some other people that can come in and pontificate upon it as well. Please do. And Eric now has confirmed that Todd has done porn. There you go, fluffer nutter.
Mhm.
Well, hey, if anyone has a Zeusophone or whatever the hell this thing is, Please, I have Chester's address. We will send it to him and get him to play it live. And
I
you'll see
can, I will.
exactly why he
Yeah.
switched to the saxophone.
Hey man, I can make tuba sexy too. You watch out.
And then we're
Anyway,
gonna
guys,
just-
thank you very much. Thank you to all the panelists. Thank you to all the guests. It's been fun. Talking about the Reptoids and a couple of things we mentioned. Go check it out. Like I said, go check out David Icke. It's fun. It's actually a lot of fun. He's a good. I joke about him because he did stand up on live TV and tell the world he was the baby Jeebus. He did. He did that. But he's a great speaker. So go enjoy some of his stuff. You can find it online easy. And also check out the Tim's Vermeer. I think you guys will like it. I can
It's
make fun of
$3.99 on YouTube, by the way. But there are some smaller videos. There's even one where Teller talks about the idea
It's
of
also
it.
free on other websites.
Yeah, Teller speaks, by the way, because Teller is a producer and a director. I don't know if you know this, or Penn and Teller. And the funny thing about that, Todd, with Teller, he's actually got a great voice.
Oh yeah,
A really good voice, and it's like, my goodness, you never knew it because we never seen him speak, right? With their shtick, but that guy's got a wonderful voice. But anyway, go check those things out. George, you're still here? You woke up. Hi, George.
No. I've been listening to all this. I've been making notes, and I've been connecting the dots. I think I know who the Reptoids are.
Oh, okay. Well, please enlighten us.
Show us.
Okay. Well, first of all, you said like the Reptoids are very tall, correct?
They are. They are.
Okay. And you mentioned about their eyes.
Yep. And tongues.
Yeah, and tongues, as if they were doing drugs and stuff like that. Kind of weirdness.
Mm-mm.
And they're in plain sight, right?
Yes.
So all these 3 points, they're basketball players.
Yeah. No.
I could believe that.
Yeah. If you're going with very tall Scandinavians, maybe.
We idolize them, and apparently the Reptoids want to be idolized.
There's one hole in your plan here,
Yeah,
George. Though
one hole.
there's one very big one there.
Big one.
They say that the Reptoids are white.
Yeah, white. They're from Orion. They're white. The white guys. Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, I'm definitely getting out of here. Dinale, take us out of here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for TFT tonight. Join us tomorrow for Comics News Today at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check out the other projects that's going on everywhere: IndieCom TV, Insider Magazine, IndieCron, and any other projects that we're engaging in. We're all busy here. We all appreciate all your support. Join the newsletter, The Immortal Mask, with the email down below, dinalescomics@gmail.com. Just send me an email that you want to be part of it, and you will be part of it. As always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Is real.
What?
Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay. Later, guys.
later.
Aloha.